Welcome to another episode of At Home with the Willises. I'm Nicci.
And I'm Jameen.
And today's topic is this the new definition of success? Stay tuned. Here we go. You get a blue ribbon. You get a blue ribbon. That's what we're talking about today.
Nope.
No. All right. Well, okay. So as you guys have probably started to realize, we come up with these topics as we're just like talking, getting ready for work, getting ready for church.
Pillow talking.
And we started talking about success.
This is part 2 of what we were talking about in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. So, okay. So kind of fill everybody in because obviously everybody's not in the car with us.
They need to go back and check the last podcast where we talked about failure, the fear of failure.
The fear of failure. Yeah, that was like 2 podcasts ago. So go check that one out. And then we got on the topic in the car about success. And so we're going to talk about that. But before we do, I got to remind you, make sure you subscribe. So hit that button right there. Also share this video. Make sure you share with your friends and your family and invite them on to the Willis house. All right. So, okay. So let's get started.
Yep.
Success. We were talking about success. So fill everybody in on this kind of how it's being defined and what we think about it here.
So, yeah, it was kind of like a 2-part thing. We talked about how people look at the success that us and other people have, and they don't know the backstory of all the failures or all the things that it took for us to get to where we're at.
Yeah, people want the glory. They don't know the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But the other part of it is when we feel like we failed or we haven't met our goals, people are like, well, at least you have fill in the blank. So what a lot of people say, well, at least you own a business, or at least you have this car, or at least you have that. But if it's not the goal that you set,
if it's not important to you,
is not good enough. So
right.
The whole what I call a participation award of entrepreneurship or life, for me, it's not good enough.
When people say, well, at least you are in real estate, or at least you have this, and we're like, we have met 0.25% of our goals.
Yeah.
This year.
So it looks good on social media. It looks good on the outside, and not to say like our stuff is in shambles or other people's stuff is in shambles. Sure. They only show you the good things, but a lot of people say like it's almost like not back in the day we used to talk about people like they're conceited or they're stuck up. It's not that you're stuck up, or you like the ultimate like perfectionist or things like that. But just because success is defined by different parameters. So success for you may be failure to me, and failure to me may be success to you. But a lot of people look at that and say, well, you need to stop complaining, or at least you did this.
Yeah. I mean, I think there is there's a healthy balance. Will we ever find it? Probably not. Just be honest. But I think there has to be some kind of balance where you do stop and smell the roses. I know I have a hard time doing that. Do you have a hard time doing that? Put it in the comments below. Let me know that I'm not alone in this. But that was one of the things we were talking about in the car. I have a very hard time just celebrating a win. Because for me, I'm just like, all right, I did that, on to the next thing.
I don't agree with that all the time. I feel like you celebrate your win.
Well, because I'm trying to now.
And you want me to celebrate your wins.
Well, yes,
too.
I want you to celebrate my wins.
See, Jen ain't mic'd up today, but I got some help today.
I do want you to celebrate my wins.
I got some help
No,
today.
but internally, I struggle with that.
Yeah.
I really, really do. And so me being loud about it or like telling you about it,
so you want
jokingly,
us to celebrate it because inside you struggle with it.
Yeah, I really do. I have a really hard time because I'm constantly like, once I reach something, I'm moving the goalposts. Sometimes I'm moving the goalposts and I ain't even reached what I've set out for myself. And so I've really tried to be intentional in the recent years to celebrate the wins, to celebrate, you know what, I met this goal. All right, awesome. Let me rest in that for a minute. Because what happens is then you get into hustle mode. And we all know how that feels. And hustle mode really shouldn't be a lifestyle. Hustle mode can be for a season, because hustle mode, you're most likely not getting a whole bunch of sleep. You're doing a whole lot of different things at the same time, and you're trying to reach this goal. But like, that's why I think a couple years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, people were like, yeah, I'm hustling, hustle life and all this stuff. I'm like, pump the brakes. That's a red flag. And that's when I noticed it in myself, where I'm like, this is not healthy, where I'm just constantly going and going and going and going and going. And I'm still working on it. And I work on it by telling you that I want you to celebrate me.
Oh, okay. Well, I think it's a balance in that, because I don't, I used to be early on in my early 20s. I wasn't focusing on killing it in business. I was focused on having a family, and what I thought I was trying to create work-life balance. I didn't want to work so much to where I wasn't considered as a family man, or abandoning my husbandly, fatherly duties. But now I'm more on my grind and realizing you kind of do need to be a little bit of a what I call a maniac. So the Mamba mentality, because there's no such thing as balance. You gonna kill it at work, but you're also, I find all the time to spend at home with your kids and go on vacation and all that stuff. Yeah. Sometimes it's extremely off balance for a season. But when it's off balance and you meet your goals, not other people's goals, then you can spend more time going on vacation. Then you can spend more time being at home. But sometimes you have to focus all your energy on something, just like when a crisis happens. If something happens with one of our kids, you focus all your attention and energy on getting your kid back up to during that speech. Sometimes in business, you have to do the same thing. With success, you have to do the same thing. So it's true that you have to stop and smell the roses and celebrate the small victories. I know you've told me that. I've had to force you to do that at times. But at the end of the day, your goals are your goals. So achieving somebody else's definition of success or goals doesn't really help you much. You know what I mean? So it's we have to stop and smell the roses, but we could get pumped up by all the compliments and the accolades and things like that and be like, look, all these people think I'm successful and stuff. Meanwhile, you over here looking at the goals that you set for 20 in January, you haven't hit any of them. So at the end of the day, your goals are your goals. You don't have to feel like you can get sidetracked by somebody else's definition of success. You know what I mean? And
well, that's what we talked about, social media.
Yeah. I put it in here. So
that's like death by 1,000 comparisons. I mean, you get on social media and you see people not even in the same industry as you. People not even doing the same thing as you. But the way they have, taken that picture, probably for the 1,000th time, they have the perfect filter on it. They have cut and mastered it perfectly, and they have the perfect quote. And you're like, wow, that's nice. Yeah. And then you look at your life like, doggone it, here I am. I'm in a robe and house slippers, and now I can't get myself together. And here you are beating yourself up. It's death by 1,000 comparisons.
But at the same thing, at the same token, I feel like this is the same thing. Like, you could look at somebody else's definition of success the same way that you look at somebody on social media, like, oh, they have their life together. They're balling. They got a Bugatti.
So what happens when because you've been to conferences, success conferences and wealth conferences and all the things. I've been to those success conferences and whatnot. And there's always those people that are up there on the stage talking about success and, here's what I've done and this is what I've done to be successful. What do you say to that? How should we take it then?
How should we take what?
How should we take what we're looking at, these successful people on these stages and all the things, how because a lot of times, we're walking away from these conferences saying, okay, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. Mm-hmm. And it probably does, and a lot of times it doesn't even line up with the goals that you set for yourself at the beginning of the year. But now something has shifted because, I'm not going to name any names or anything like that because I don't want people emailing me. I ain't got time to read all those emails. But because, you've gone to this conference and somebody has, spent 45 minutes keynoting about, success and all the things. Mm-hmm. So how do people take that? Because you're saying someone else's success is not your success. How do you take it? What do you do with that information? How do you apply it?
Well, not like from a standpoint of someone else's success is not your success. So it's like the adult version of what we talked about, the participation award, right? So you really lost, but you got a participation certificate. What'd you call it? What color?
Blue ribbon.
A blue ribbon.
That blue ribbon. Can't stand.
So it's the blue ribbon. It's the adult version of the blue ribbon. So you didn't.
You're talking about on the flip side when people don't meet their goals.
I'm talking about the flip side from your point of view. It's like the participation award. So it's like I didn't reach my goals, but at least I did this, and this is at least I did this is pointed out because this person complimented me on this, or at this level, the level that you're on is way higher than somebody else's level, but your level of success is the conference that you went to or the person that you were inspired by.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I mean. It's the flip side of it. It's the adult version of the participation award. It's like, I didn't reach my goals, but at least I didn't sell 36 houses, but at least I sold 24. It's the participation award. If you wanted to be salesperson of the year and you got... I see, the older I get, now I feel you. When I was younger, I want to beat myself up for that. But I didn't reach 36. There's a quote that says, aim for the moon. You'll hit a bunch of stars on the way or something like that. That was paraphrased really badly. But you know what I'm saying. Okay, aim for the moon or reach for the moon. You might, even if you don't make it, you'll hit the stars on the way, right? Because I think you can get into a really unhealthy balance by saying, okay, my goal was to, sell 36 houses. Man, I only did 24 or I only did 30 this year. Okay, well, how much did you do last year? Did you do better than you did last year? Mm-hmm. Did you, how many more contacts did you make? How many more, how many more people did you serve? All the things. And I also think, you talk about, the participation award. I believe that a lot of that is driven by vision. Yep.
You have to have vision. Mm-hmm. What drives you? And vision helps you say yes to things and no to things. My coach was telling me just last week, because I was beating myself up because I hadn't booked the number of appointments that I wanted. Mm-hmm. I had booked a whole bunch of other appointments that I didn't really need. Mm-hmm. And he said, be careful about being busy versus being productive.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He said, be careful about being busy versus being productive. And that snapped me back in reality, because I remember at the beginning of the year, my goal was to be productive.
Right.
Not just busy work.
Yeah.
And so when you get into that, to your point, you're talking about, okay, well, I didn't make this goal or whatever, but if my goal is to be productive, am I more productive this year than I was last year, can be a form of success.
That's the stopping smelling the roses. But guess what? You're stopping to smell the roses on your way to reaching your goal. So along the way of reaching your goal, yes, I did better than I did last year. That's stopping and smelling the roses, but you don't stop right there at the roses. You stop and smelling the roses on your way to accomplishing your goal, because we live in a world of the participation award now versus like we talked about earlier. When you lost back in the day,
you just lost.
It wasn't no participation award. But in the real world now, behind
like,
closed,
at least you showed up.
but in the real world now, behind closed doors in business, it still as cutthroat as ever. Ain't no participation award in the business world. And behind closed doors, sometimes it's either you got it done or you didn't. So yes,
but I'm about fostering something healthy for yourself, though. You have to foster something healthy for yourself. There's another quote, and now it escapes me because you started saying something else. So we talked about reaching for the moon. If you don't make, that was it. About making goals that, we talked about SMART goals, right? Specific, measurable, actionable, attainable. I got too many A's in there. Realistic and time-based, right?
Yeah.
I always throw an R in there because rewards. You got to have a reward. That's why I threw it in there. Because you got to have a reward. But that's not what I'm talking about. You've heard the quote, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough.
Right.
So, there are goals and things like that. When you set goals, you set them for a reason. You want to reach them, right? But I like to see goals that are kind of lofty, pretty big.
Yeah.
Because maybe I didn't hit it, but what did I do? What did I chip away at to get closer to that goal? So sometimes it can be maybe I did 12 deals in last year. Okay, well this year I did 24. So I doubled the amount of productivity that I had last year. Right. Growth. But I didn't reach the 36. So and I'm just saying this, this is just a thought. So I didn't reach my 36, but I reached my 24. Okay. That's again, that 30, jumping from 12 to 36, that's a big goal. That's a big goal. And I'm kind of on the line of dream bigger. Yeah. Dream bigger. If your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. I'm tackling a lot of dreams in 2024 that are humongous and they are terrifying. We'll talk about that later in the coming weeks. But if you attain every goal that you set, what does that kind of say?
You need bigger goals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my point is this: if you're looking at somebody that's successful, and you may look at them like, what are they complaining about? Or at least they did this, or shoot, I would be happy if I got this. To you, their failure may look like not that bad, but you may not understand their vision or their goal. So if you don't see, you don't know somebody else's vision because it's in their head, and everybody don't show you, hey, here's my goal while you look at my social media. It may not look that bad to you. Their failure may not look bad to you, but you don't see their big picture or see their vision. So it's the same thing of being envious of somebody looking at what they have. I think a lot of people make the same mistake saying, oh, their failure isn't that bad. At least they have this, but you don't understand their vision or goal. You don't understand my vision that I have. So you may look at what I did and say, oh, that's great. Yeah. But if my vision was
you barely did bare minimum,
it's still failure. And it's okay for me to say, I didn't meet my goal. I failed. I need to look and see where I made mistakes and go harder.
You want me to tell you, get it together, Jamie?
Yeah.
Oh, Jen, you said you don't know what you're capable of?
You don't know what they're capable of.
Oh.
They don't know what you're capable of.
Right. That is true.
Or the same thing. If I'm
killing doing bare minimum and everybody's like, oh my goodness. And you haven't even scratched the surface of your potential.
Right.
Get it together, Jameen.
Yeah.
Get it together.
Yeah. I can't get sidetracked by the compliments and people like, well, at least you did this.
Yeah.
Nah.
But
like Kobe said, same thing as Kobe said.
Oh yeah, I ain't done. But what did he
Job's
say?
not
You know
finished.
what? I need to quit I need to quit.
Yeah,
trying to
you
quote.
need to get your
That's what I
right.
need.
That's
to,
you got
I
the
need to
computer,
stop.
you got
I know.
the internet.
I probably should put a
cannabis.
note in there if I'm gonna just. But you know what? It comes to my head, and then I just got to get it out. But yeah, he said the job's not done.
Yeah.
Job's not done, Jamie. Get it together.
Speaking of jobs not being done,
Okay.
my boys.
What?
This is one of my main places that I hit with flipping houses. I beeline it straight to the clearance section at IKEA,
You trying to say
and they
money.
turned on me. So
Inflation,
IKEA,
babe? What?
inflation and inflation. IKEA
What?
is getting rid of, and the same thing, they haven't even had it that long. They're getting rid of the family thing where they give
family
you a
discount.
5% discount. So IKEA was giving 5% discount. I was already going to the clearance section. Then I get a 5% discount. So beginning February 1st, 2024, they're no longer offering the family $5 off discount.
5%.
5% for furniture and decor. So they just rolled it out and now they're getting rid of it.
Well, babe, they found out it wasn't profitable. It's cutting into their profits. Listen, if something wasn't, we put your business hat on. If something wasn't working, and would you rather cut that program or cut people? Come on now.
I'm gonna think twice before I go to
Come
IKEA.
on now.
Let's see who cuts first.
If you could save 10% of the jobs, and keep people working and not have to, fire them for the holiday season by
IKEA ain't
by
firing
taking
nobody.
away that 5% discount. There's some reason why they had to do it, and
don't like
quite
it.
frankly, I mean, we can see it right now. Inflation.
I
I'm not
tell
gonna
you
call
what,
out Dollar
that,
Tree
that made a
because
difference.
they didn't 25% increase $1.25.
I tell you, they made a difference between me going over there more frequently. I knew I could put that code in. If I'm buying furniture for staging, 5%.
Sales tax is 8%. It wasn't even eating up the sales tax.
I'd rather have 5% off than not have 5%. If you go buy a big ticket item and get 5% off, that makes a difference.
Listen, I tell you what I don't want. I don't want to be in there with nobody. We ain't gonna call out a big box store.
They are a big box store. You can't get no help at IKEA.
You can.
Barely.
Listen, I dare not self-scan one of those big dressers that comes in 10 boxes.
They
No, thank
give you the QR
No,
code
thank you.
and you scan
I will
it.
pay. I will pay the 5%. I will be there. You need a job and I need assistance.
You're not a good representation because you don't even shop at IKEA.
I do. No, you know what? I don't shop at IKEA. But guess who puts everything together?
That's true.
Okay.
I need to pay
Matter
you.
of fact, that's right. Give me
I
the 5%.
need to give you the 5%.
Give me
well,
the
I can't
5%.
now because they're getting rid of it. So, all right, what else
But
we
you know
got?
what? That's a good point though. From a business standpoint, put your business hats on, everybody. From a business standpoint, it's really difficult when you're looking at your bottom line, and when you begin to hire people. I know many of us started off as solopreneurs, self-employed, but when you begin to hire people on, the stakes jump exponentially. When you've got people that are depending on you to feed their families, to put gas in their car, to put their children through school, and other things that are beyond your control are eating up the bottom line. What do you do?
Get rid of that nasty blank ice cream and meatball. Get rid of the food. If you don't have
The
to
food
produce
draws people.
that
That's
food
a
is
draw.
trash. I've never
It's a
had
draw.
one thing good. Even the drinks they have at IKEA are trash. Give me my 5%.
But
Get rid
if
of
that's,
the
if
top.
that is the,
They got this
those are Swedish meatballs. You
pear
don't like them.
soda. I don't want pear soda and bland meatballs.
Maybe that's the drink that they like. They're trying to. That's the culture.
They get rid of
that
the cafe.
You
They don't have
experience
to-
a Swedish culture when you come in there.
Give me my 5%.
I think it's
5%
fabulous.
back.
Who knows? Maybe instead of 6 Swedish meatballs, maybe they're now busted down to 5.
Doubtful.
Now, you know what I'm saying? At first it was, okay, we got a bag of 30 meatballs. Okay, we can feed 6 people now instead of 5, because now you're serving 5 meatballs instead of 6. This is why it's important to make sure you document your processes. Make sure you document everything. Make sure business hats on, put your business hat on. Make sure you are documenting your process. Make sure that you know how much it costs for you to do whatever it is that you do in your business. Make sure, because should something happen beyond your control, you need to be able to make adjustments to the things that you do have control over. So, all right, let's take our business hats off and let's start talking about something else. But I just had, I had to throw it in there for my peeps.
Okay.
You have to know your numbers. And that's the reason why they knew, okay, you know what? We can just slide this little program up out of here and it's not really going to affect, because you're still going to go to IKEA. At the end of the day, you're still going to go.
I'm going to check somewhere else first.
You're still going to go to IKEA.
I'm a disgruntled
You're still going to go.
IKEA shopper.
And they knew that. They knew that you were going to complain. But you really weren't going to do anything. And that's why they got rid of that program.
My boy,
now,
Willis.
had they gotten rid of the Swedish meatballs, maybe they would say, well, you know what? We're getting rid of our draw. So we got to keep the Swedish meatballs. You know what I'm saying? Maybe instead of serving 6, maybe they now serve 5. And then they got to swipe this little 5% off. Because, we might have a few disgruntled Jamins. But at the end of the day, he's still going to come back.
Small business owners make the world go round.
They do.
Speaking of making the world go round, and 5, right here in our backyard, Las Vegas, your boy LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers, they have 5. He has 5 championships now. The Los Angeles Lakers won the in-season tournament here in Las Vegas, and now people are saying on ESPN and all the talk shows, does this help the GOAT argument? Because LeBron James is now the oldest player in the NBA, and he won it.
I take offense to that because I think we're like the same age.
Yes.
Continue.
Yes. Yeah. Same age, but you're not in the NBA.
That's true.
Use your
Facts.
brain.
You're right.
You use your brain.
That's true.
He uses.
That's very true. All right, continue.
So, does this help the GOAT argument? People are even going out on them saying Michael Jordan didn't win the in-season tournament.
They didn't have
one. But they
apples
were
to
saying,
oranges.
They were saying LeBron James 1, MJ 0 for.
You can't even compare. You can't even compare the
tournaments.
2. Michael Jordan didn't have one. So in these types of arguments, compare apples to apples. Okay.
Okay.
Look at the regular NBA championship. How many did each of them win? LeBron, he's still playing, and I guess he's gonna be in there until Bronny comes on in, and maybe his other son Bryce comes in. And we'll see what happens then. I'm all for it, all the things. To me, it's a lot. People can argue greatest of all time, and it makes me dizzy.
Well, on the flip side is they talking, does this help the GOAT argument for LeBron James? The other flip side is this another asterisk in his championships, because they say his last championship was a bubble championship because it was in the bubble. It wasn't a regular NBA championship.
Oh, that was the last time they won?
Yeah, so
during
the Lakers
COVID?
won. So the Lakers won the championship with
it was
LeBron
nice and quiet
during COVID in the
people.
bubble. So some people say that's an asterisk championship. So
I mean, a championship is a championship. If you won, you won. Okay, so I'm listening. If we're playing board games, ain't no. Well, this is a practice round. Did I beat you? If I beat you, then yes, give me that ring. Don't you put an asterisk by that? I won.
Okay.
Give me all the props.
Well, we know you cheat in board games.
I don't cheat. Don't be out here telling the people that I cheat. That is not true. Not true at all.
But we run
I'm
it
very
up on
competitive.
a space, though. We run it up at
We do.
Space.
We do. We are a good space
partnership.
So if something happened and with things beyond your control, but you still had to play the game. I mean, I think, yeah, give him his props for all the things that he's won. You know, the GOAT arguments irritate me though, because like, you know, people argue about Simone Biles, people argue about Serena Williams, people argue about all of the what's my man's name? Warriors, Steph Curry. They argue about Tiger Woods. You know, being the GOAT. Let these people play. Because at the end of the day, I can't do none of the things. And I mean absolutely none of the things that they do. And they practice
you can't say that. Now see you doing it.
What do you
At
mean?
least I can't do none of it. See what I'm saying? It's the
gotta
whole
let me
participation
finish.
award.
Let me
Now we
finish.
want to give LeBron James a participation award.
No, but the amount of practice and discipline and the things that they eat and don't eat and all the things there's no way I could do that.
Right.
So who are we arguing with? They're all, to me, GOATs in their own right with all the things that they do. They said Simone Biles is the most decorated Olympic athlete, I think. And Steph Curry has made, you know, strides and things like that. You know what?
No, not strides. More threes than anybody.
More threes than
in the history of Steph is that
history.
way. Steph is cold.
Yeah.
I think people need to give people their eras because, like, if you talk about the GOAT, now I do feel like no matter what, even though like other, you know, centuries and not centuries but decades, I wasn't around, but you can tell Michael Jordan has had the most like cultural impact. But I didn't see Julius Erving play. That was before my time. I didn't see Bill Russell play. So I think people can say in this era, this was the best player in this era because, you know, I don't know. Bill Russell got more rings than Michael Jordan and everybody else. But does that make him the GOAT? You know, Tom Brady. You know, Tom Brady was in the younger era. Tom Brady has more rings than anybody else in football. But a lot of people still feel
retired
like
now.
Yeah, and some people still feel like Joe Montana is still the greatest, you know, quarterback or player. Or some people feel like Jerry Rice is still the greatest player ever. But it was a different era. So if you didn't see Jerry Rice and Joe Montana play for my team, the 49ers, in the 80s, you may be like, no, he's not the GOAT. Tom Brady is the GOAT. So I think everybody needs their era. So speaking of era, they're saying this is a preview of what it feels like to have
an NBA team in Vegas.
Yeah.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Be the GOAT on that. Somebody get me in on the deal. How about that? Because that's going to be cool. Now there are huge talks now about the LeBron having a team.
Yeah.
Or buying a team. And I think Shaq was in on it too.
Yeah, so right now it's a big like PR war in between. Shaq wanting to have a team, LeBron wanting to have a team, so it's kind of like a PR war. Over
How come we can't come together? How come we can't collaborate? Why is this not a collaboration? I don't get it.
Well, if LeBron has enough money to be a majority owner, he wants to be a majority owner, and Shaq may want to be a majority owner. So that
I'm for collaboration. If we can,
why we gotta collaborate? Other people don't have to collaborate. The Wins and the Addisons don't have to collaborate.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So
Shaq, you get a team, and then LeBron, you get a team too. Can we do that?
Well, here's the thing. So there's going to be 2 new changes in the NBA.
Okay.
So there's this big contract that ends at the end of this season. So back in my days, there was a team called the Seattle Supersonics.
Supersonics.
Yeah, not that, but Sean Kemp and Gary Payton. Those guys, Seattle Supersonics. So they're coming back. So they're getting their team back. So they got rid of the Supersonics, and I think they did an expansion team, the Oklahoma City Thunder. They like replaced the Supersonics.
OKC.
Yeah. So Seattle is definitely, they're coming back, and then we're going to have a team here in Las Vegas. Who owns it, we don't know yet.
Okay.
In addition to that.
But you were saying when we were watching the championship that LeBron had on.
He did.
Green.
He had on those Seattle Supersonics colors, and it kind of threw me off because it was like green and yellow or gold. That's Seattle Supersonics color. It could be just the newest LeBron release, which I love LeBron as a person, but I don't like the shoes. I don't.
All I'm saying is, can we? I don't know. Can we have a vote on the colors? Because I just feel like, I mean, we got the Aces, right? We got the Raiders. We've got the Golden Knights. We got the Silver Knights. We're swimming black.
You gotta have some
golds,
type of black in it.
reds.
You gotta
If
have
you come
black
in
in
here. You come in here with green and yellow. It's gonna give Oregon to me, and I'm not feeling Oregon. I need Vegasy colors.
I feel like green.
Legacy.
Well, a lot of money flows through here, but I feel like green is not a.
Well, maybe
Las
a certain
Vegas
green
color.
Maybe a
Las
certain.
Vegas is not a green color.
Yeah, that doesn't. I don't know about that. We need to vote. If I get some buy-in, I can tell them what colors. Tell them what colors. But anyway, okay, that was just. Sorry, I didn't mean to get off.
Talk about the real estate side. So even before a team comes here, there is a group called the Oakview Group, and they already have in the works a $10 billion stadium that they're preparing for when we get an NBA team.
Okay.
So this group, apparently they have already did 7 arenas around the country and maybe the world.
Alrighty.
So they already have the land and everything. So they already have a $10 billion stadium in the works. So it's looking pretty probable.
Yes.
That we're getting the team here.
Yeah, and it makes sense for them
Who's going to own
to.
it? What's going to be the name? What's going to be the colors?
We're looking for good colors, something that we can wear out, something that goes with other things that we have.
Yeah.
It's important.
Speaking of colors, the color purple remake of the movie is coming to the big screen this Christmas. Now, Color Purple is one of my favorite movies because Whoopi Goldberg is one of my favorite actresses, right? So I thought that this was just a remake of the movie. So apparently Jen likes all these musicals. So it's not just going to be like it's not going to be exactly like The Color Purple.
Okay.
It's going to be a remake, and
They're bringing in the music.
It's a musical.
Yes. I'm excited for this. It's coming out on Christmas. So we're going to go.
Yeah.
We're going to have Christmas breakfast and kind of like veg out, and then we're going to go and see it. But so The Color Purple, it came out in the 80s. I want to say 84. Is that true? 80 something. Came out in the 80s. And then it was on Broadway for years. And Fantasia was the lead in that. Some other people were the lead, but Fantasia was the lead for most of it. And so now she's also starring in this.
Talk about all the who are all the people this.
Oh goodness. Let's see. There's Fantasia Marino. There's Taraji P. Henson. Sierra. I did not know Sierra was in the movie. I don't know why I thought didn't know. Her is in there.
I'm there. I love her. It's one of my favorites.
Tamala Mann is in this.
Yep.
I'm just reading this. What? Halle Bailey.
Is it Halle or Haley Bailey?
It's Halle. Bailey.
Halle,
Halle Bailey
like
is
Halle
in this.
Berry.
Yeah. Deion Cole. Coleman Domingo.
Yeah.
Oh,
I feel like he can sing
Rustin.
too, right?
Y'all got to see the movie Rustin. It's on Netflix. Fantastic movie.
Is he a singer too?
I don't know.
Fake.
He's an incredible actor.
Ad lib.
He's in I have no idea.
Okay.
But he plays. No, he doesn't play Harpo. The guy that played Dr. Dre in Straight Outta Compton plays Harpo, and I can't remember his name.
He had a TV show. He was like a cop or something like that.
Yeah. Danielle. What's Danielle's last name? Jen. Oh, Lordy.
I'm looking at her face.
Yeah, right. I can see her face. But she played Tasty on Orange is the New Black. What? Danielle Brooks. Danielle Brooks sounds about right. I apologize if I got the name wrong, but Danielle. She played in Orange is the New Black. She's in it. Y'all, this is a star-studded movie. We have to pack it out for Christmas, okay? We have to pack it out. Listen, if you are a Christmas dinner person, then you go in the morning, all right? If you are a Christmas morning breakfast person, then I will see you at night.
Corey
All right?
Hawkins.
Corey Hawkins, yes. Coleman Domingo, Danielle Brooks. You were right, Jen.
Who is Danielle Brooks?
I told you she was in Orange Is the New Black. I rocked with her for seasons.
I don't watch jail shows.
And she's a singer, yeah. Okay. So this is star-studded. What?
Taraji P. Henson. You didn't talk about her.
Ellis is in this too.
Who is that? Oh, I know.
Black excellence is what I'm trying to say. Y'all, I am so excited.
Shug Avery, the character, is going to be Taraji P. Henson.
Yes, she plays Shug Avery.
I can see that.
Yeah, I think she'll do well in that too. She did really well playing Miss Hannigan in the Annie musical that was broadcasted a couple years ago. It was during COVID. So she did really well in that. So guys, this is really, really exciting. We need to pack it out. I want to make sure we're all going. So get you a group, get you a little watch group. I think I'm going in my onesie just because we're not going in a onesie. Anytime.
We're not doing a onesie.
I can be in a onesie. I'm going to do it. Mm-hmm. I'm going to bring my blanket. We're going to have a good time. I'm just going to be wrapped up in the movies. It's going to be fabulous. Christmas is going to be fun.
Bring the blanket, not the onesie.
All right. Well, all right. Anything else? I think we can probably.
You got to talk about the real estate minute.
Listen, see y'all. This is what I get. Okay. So there is a home builder that has bought land for $44.7 million in Summerlin. All right. So Los Angeles-based home builder plans to build 200 single-family homes on 32 acres in Summerlin West's Grand Park District. This could be an opportunity for those of you who like the Summerlin area. They're building a lot over in that area. Mm-hmm. It doesn't say what builder it is, but 200 single family homes is a decent amount. So we will keep you posted on that. A couple of weeks ago, we talked about resale versus new construction. So you definitely want to go back and check that out. I believe that was 2 episodes ago. We talked about resale versus new construction. You can definitely get some good deals on new construction. But let's talk about inventory homes. So we're going to stay in the new construction vein, but inventory homes can be a great opportunity to save money and to save time.
I like inventory homes.
Yeah. So inventory homes are new builds or new construction homes that have been started by buyers, and for whatever reason, the buyer has fallen out. And so the builder still needs to get rid of these homes, and it can be a great opportunity for a buyer who wants a new construction home, but maybe doesn't have the time, that 8 to 12 months for a home to be built. Now, here are some of the cons for inventory homes. First of all, for the most part, all of the finishes are already chosen. So you're going to need to like what the previous buyer has chosen.
Like upgrades, right?
Yeah, the upgrades. So for the most part, finishes can be the lighting, the flooring's already chosen. Sometimes it can be the hardware around the home. Sometimes it can be, how the home was wired for sound. It can be pretty detailed, but if you like it, awesome. A lot of times these inventory homes can be sold at base price, and sometimes they can even include the price of the lot. So you can get some really, really good deals. Here's what I recommend though. Do not go in without representation. So if you're looking to move to Las Vegas, you can contact our team, the Willis team. You can go to the willisteamlv.com. Let us know, hey, I am interested in a new construction home, and we can help you get there. Now, if you are somewhere else, guess what? We can actually help you as well. We are very, very well connected throughout the entire country. And so if you want us to help you find a real estate agent in your area, we can do that too. So you can visit thewillisteamlv.com. All right. This was fun.
Yep.
This was a good episode. All right. And let us know what your favorite part of this episode was. Go ahead and put it in the comments below. Before you leave, make sure you subscribe, hit that button down there, and hit the bell so that you are notified. What?
No, I wanted to do something. So I did.
That's okay.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So put in the comments what you think the name of the NBA teams for Las Vegas should be.
Oh, and the colors. Go ahead and let me know what
And the
colors you want. How about that?
All right, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, so let us know all of that. But in the meantime, have a wonderful week, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.